Now we're live. The Hangout is live. Do you remember when Google Hangouts used to be linked to Google Plus? But then Google Plus
Yeah.
got but now it's dead, and I'm sitting in the dark. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Heroes of Handheld, episode 250. That's right. We've hit another milestone. 250. Yes. 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 So this is the podcast dedicated to handheld gaming, but I'd say majority of the stuff we talk about is Nintendo Switch because that's the king of the handhelds, I would say. In the past, we've spoken about Vita, PSP, 3DS, 2DS, games like that, consoles like that in the past. But now, here and now, it's the Nintendo Switch that all the kids are playing, everyone's raving about. So that's what we focus on. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Colin. I'm sitting in a very darkened room. I'm not too sure why. It's actually a bit creepy. It's like the film, that not Facebook film, that film that was all online, Unfriended. It's like that horror film there where it's all done through their Skype cameras, and all the cameras are quite dark and menacing. So I might get murdered whilst we're doing this. So if that happens, I do apologise. But I'm Colin, and over there in London town is Chris. Hi, Chris.
It's a comment on your immaculate professionalism that if you get murdered during a podcast, the first thing you do is apologise. This is why I love working with you, Colin.
There's a scene in that Unfriended film where someone has their neck in a blender. So
see, I've seen both the Unfriended films, and I don't remember that at all.
Is it Unfriended?
It's not unfeasible. There's the first one is like Supernatural, and then the second one is Unfriended 2: Dark Web, and it's all about kind of hacking, like it's a bit more real in inverted commas. Because the first one's like, is it about like a bullied high school girl or something?
About a girl who killed herself because she was bullied.
Yeah. And they all shared pictures of her like drunk at a party having wet herself or something like that.
Yeah, that was it. And the ending was like typical. Is it a spoiler? Probably. Who cares? Who cares? It's a horror film. There's a jump scare at the end, which wasn't really that scary. But it's like the. Can we talk about this, Chris? Will we get funny before we get into the podcast?
I don't. Spoilers from Unfriended. Go on, very quickly.
At the end, when like she's like obviously typing away whatever, and then the laptop slams shut. And like the ghost is there. It's like and that's like how it ends. That I didn't scare. Normally, I'm pretty bad with jump scares. That didn't get me for some reason. Me and my partner watched it, and we just rewound it. We're like trying to rewind and see what she looked like. It's like, oh, she's a bit weird looking. Oh, how strange. Yeah, my partner's good like that. When we watch the Paranormal Activity films, you have to, whenever there's a jump scare, she has to rewind it and watch it over and over again because she gets confused by them. That's just figure out what's going on. What's that? Who's that? That's weird. But yeah. Oh, there you go. Anyway,
I watched the new Stephen King film on Monday, Pet Sematary.
Remake.
And if you like your jump scares, there's a lot in that, and it's pretty well done.
I'm a bit bored of jump scares. It seems lazy. Obviously, it gets a reaction, but there's more to horror. Psychological horror is more than just jump scares, in my opinion. It's just a cheap way to scare people.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was recording a podcast with Stanley Kubrick because this is Heroes of Handheld, episode 250, and it's time to talk news because we are both we've heard the feedback. We know what you want. We know you want more in-depth stuff and less general shotgun stories. We're dropping the paint roller, and we've picked up the fine detail brush. Because, Colin, here's the big news for me this week. This is what caught my eye, is that Nintendo's E3 website is now up and running. You can click on it yourself if you're so inclined. And at the moment, there's a little bit of information there. Not loads of stuff, it's fair to say, but very promising because I thought we've not really spoken about E3 in a while, especially since Google announced their stuff a couple of weeks ago about Stadia, and obviously PlayStation aren't going to be E3 this year. Now,
trying to split away from E3.
Exactly, yeah. What sort of on the Nintendo E3 website, currently all there is at the moment is some information about June the 8th, where the Smash Bros. And Splatoon 2 World Championships are going to be happening. Colin, what sort of stuff are you expecting from Nintendo E3 this year?
Lots of games that were previously on other consoles coming to Nintendo Switch, but we're still waiting. Now, we still haven't had confirmation of my boy Spyro coming out on Nintendo Switch, have we? That's still
No, I
not.
don't think. No, it's sort of been rumored for a long time, hasn't
Oh,
it?
it's got to be happening. It was listed. It's been listed on websites. It's been taken down. It makes sense because the Insane trilogy came to Switch and was brilliant on there. And obviously we've got the Crash Nitro Kart coming as well. So it makes sense. But that's what I think we're going to get. Chris, going on a slight tangent because I know you love those. But you were playing Spyro, the remastered, reignited trilogy. Where have you got up to on that?
I'm about a third of the way into number 2.
Oh man, Gateway to Glimmer or Ripto's Rage if you're from America.
What I'm finding difficult about number 2 is how you have to backtrack when you get new moves from new levels, because I'm a sucker for a list where you can cross every option off. And for me, that was my favorite thing about Spyro, was playing a level and playing it and playing it and playing it until you know you've got 100% because it tells you, and then being like, yep, moving on. And I don't like how on number 2 you are shoehorned away from 100%ing quite a lot of the content, because it's like, wow, you can't climb. Sorry about that. And it's like, oh, okay, fine.
Yeah,
And
because
then
you get these people like rubbing it in your face, don't you? Like these characters saying, "Oh, I need help getting my boulder back, but you can't climb yet. Come back when you learn to climb." Oh, you
yeah,
bastard! You
it's so
bastard.
frustrating. Like
Yeah.
how yeah, it's just it's annoying. But is that still a thing in number 3?
Yes, it is. Even more so, probably. It's even more so. But they don't do it with moves. Oh, they do it with moves, but they also do it with characters as well. Like there'll be certain mini games that you have to do with a particular character, but you won't meet them till later on in the game. So there'll just be like a little sign saying, "Hi, meet me here later." Dot dot
Oh
dot,
yes,
and then you
I
have to like,
think I've
come back.
seen people talk
Yeah.
about that. I think, yeah, that is annoying as
It's
heck.
very similar. Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind it as much just because actually a really nice touch. I think this is the third. I'm going to mention this. A really nice touch in the third one, similar to that, is where there's a particular character who you know as Hunter. You know
Yep,
the
the
crazy
leopard
tiger
guy.
thing, whatever he is, Cheetah. Cheetah, I think he is, or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's like your goofy sidekick friend. And in the third one, there is a particular part where he gets kidnapped for some reason for the plot. And when he is kidnapped, he is involved with a lot of the mini games in each level. And in that brief period where he has been kidnapped, you can't do any of the mini games with him, which I thought was a nice touch because that's. I don't know. That just was nice there because it shows that they actually were paying attention to the story and they added that in. Like you couldn't go back, even if it was in like a previous zone, like which you were in earlier. If he's like in that part of the story, which lasts for about one zone, like if he is kidnapped, you can't do any mini games from any of the previous zones, which I liked. I like that. I think that was quite nice.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like there's a definite evolution in the 3 games, because the first one is very much like a platformer, you know, 100%able platformer. And then, yeah, like you say, they do lean a lot more on like story and side characters and stuff by the third one. But so you're thinking Spyro is going to be announced at E3. Any other speculation you want to make? What would you want to see in the conference?
What would I want to see? Now, Chris, that is a deep question. I just want more games. I'm trying to think like what would be the one game that if I could have it on Switch, what would it be? I'd like another game similar to the whole Skyrim open world and also oh my god, Mass Effect, that sort of thing. I want games like that. I want new big AAA titles coming to Nintendo Switch as well as the other big platforms. Obviously, Anthem didn't do very well, but games like that would be cool. Like being announced for Switch. Obviously, Anthem died a death pretty quickly because it was not good, not good. But yeah, I'm really up for playing new IPs. You know, like I'm sort of not too fussed about like Nintendo's safe IPs like your Mario's and things like that. I want something new, something fresh, something that's going to be like, oh, this hasn't been done before. Oh, this will be interesting on Switch. That's what I want.
So it sounds like, and I think you're going to think I'm being a dick, but I'm not. So
here we go.
The Colin hope is for Nintendo to be experimenting with their stuff, but for the other devs to be bringing older things. Is that fair?
I'd like a mix.
I think that's a valid viewpoint. I think, for me, I really hope that this is the E3 that Nintendo I think with PlayStation not being there, I feel like there's suddenly a lot more extra attention on Nintendo and Xbox, and I think especially like extra attention around sort of third parties, I think is really interesting. And like for me, the Switch, a lot of the games I spend time playing on my Switch is indie games. So I really hope that this year at E3 I mean, I don't want them to spend the whole the whole conference saying, oh my god, like there's obviously a balance to be struck, is what I'm getting at. But what I really hope is that within the conference there's some sort of recognition of what they're doing to continue to make Switch the best place to play indies and the best place for these kind of proving grounds to happen, and what like deals they're striking up or what plans they're hatching. Or because at the moment, like, you go to the Switch to play indies because because it's nice playing them on the go, and because that's where a lot of them come out first. But what I really want Nintendo to do, to focus on, is maybe Nintendo start, publishing more indies, or I mean, they wouldn't be indies then, but you know what I mean. Nintendo start maybe offering kind of like, do you remember Xbox Summer of Arcade type things? Like if Nintendo can realize how important they are to the indie community and work on it, I think it could be really strong sign for them. The other thing I really want them to, I mean, obviously I want Animal Crossing news. I hope we'll get a lot of that. Animal Crossing for me always feels like a kind of late summer game, so hopefully that will be something they showcase. But the other thing I really want to know more about from Nintendo, I think E3 is probably the place to announce it, is what's going on with their back catalogue. I wish I could remember who tweeted this, but I saw someone on Twitter say that the Nintendo Switch is the best place to go for old games made from anyone apart from Nintendo. And that's so true, because it's so many like old developers are bringing kind of classic collections and remakes to the Switch. Even like Turok, which isn't not a remark, kind of not, it's not in the pantheon of gaming as like a legend, but like what I really want is Nintendo to come out all guns blazing, and I want it to be, I want this press conference to be more than just games. I want this to be Switch 2.0. This is what we're offering. And I know there's probably, there's been rumors about new models and things like that, and if that gets a lot of attention, so be it. But I just really hope that Nintendo are looking to go wide rather than going deep is fine for a while, but I hope they realize that there's so much they can do with this platform that at the moment, I mean, online is not great at the moment, and like I really hope they take the time to develop and to offer new services, and things like Netflix and stuff like that. Maybe it's not an E3 level announcement, but it would go off. People would love that. So yeah, but anyway, the website is up. We'll get more information, as it comes, and it's not for 2 months yet. So we've got time to prepare. But I think it's quite exciting, and I feel like if this goes well, because we've seen Nintendo do well at E3, but they do get it wrong quite a lot. And like the whole Smash Bros thing last year with like, here's an hour of what's different about Smash Bros, was not popular. It wasn't an hour as well. That's obviously dramatic license. So I really hope this is the year that they step it up and they realize like that they could take the spotlight if things go well. So anyway, that's E3 speculation. The website's there. We'll link it obviously on handheld.wordpress.com. Colin, what news has been taking your eye this week?
Can I just say last thing? Do you think like the whole Netflix and streaming services coming on to Switch is going to become a meme? Do you think it's ever going to happen?
I mean,
because it seems like we're wanting this like well over a year ago, and we're thinking, yeah, any day now, any minute now, we're going to get the Netflix announcement. It's going to be amazing. We're all going to be so happy about it, but nothing came. We got the YouTube app, and to be fair, I really actually like the YouTube app. I use YouTube quite a lot. I think the Switch app's really good, so the capability is there. It's interesting that they've not. You get the impression that Nintendo just aren't that bothered about it. Like they probably could easily work with Netflix and get something going, but they just don't really want to. They want to focus on the other elements of the Switch, which is frustrating.
There is a lot of quality of life stuff on Switch in general. I mean, things like, for example, and I don't think this is an E3 announcement per se, but I think this is something you either do in Treehouse or you do beforehand, so you can talk about it more at E3. Things like themes, things like me and you, Colin, we're friends on Switch, but if we aren't talking on WhatsApp, there's no way of communicating. And that is absolutely bonkers, and that remains absolutely bonkers, given the Switch has been out as long as it has. So yeah, hopefully we see like the big quality of life update that brings Netflix. And yeah, I mean, you know, you can watch Netflix on your own devices, you can watch it on your phone, you can watch it on your tablet, you can watch it on a calculator. Why can't you watch it on Switch? I don't know.
Yes. Who knows? Because you can watch it on every other device. You can even probably watch Netflix on your microwave. I wouldn't be surprised, to be fair. But yeah, we wait and see. Anyway, let's move on. So, more Nintendo news, which is actually very exciting. So, one of the bugbears of people who play games online on Nintendo Switch is that it isn't that easy to chat to your friends or people you're playing with whilst online. But one company is looking to make those problems, well, smooth out the problems and make it a lot easier to talk to people. So a controller has been announced which will have it offers built-in voice chat. So this is so the name of this, PDP's Face-Off Deluxe Plus. It's going to be the first Nintendo Switch controller that offers built-in voice chat. It's basically a Switch Pro controller, and there's a picture here. I don't actually say whether this is an actual image of it or whether this is just like someone like photoshopping something.
Yeah,
But
like
anyway, yeah, I'm not sure, but if it is, it looks very nice. What's interesting about this is obviously it's got a headphone jack in it, so it makes it easier to talk to people online. But it's also going to be really customizable as well. It's going to have different face plates and things like that, so you can make it look how you want it to look. I mean, the picture on the article here from Den of Geek, we love Den of Geek, is a red camouflage look. So actually, I can't actually see the controller at all. All I can see is the buttons, which are in black, because that camouflage is so shit hot. You're feeling me? Are you feeling me?
I'm feeling you, Mr. Krabs.
I thought that. Can you feel it, Mr. Krabs? Can you? Oh god, that was great. I guess you're going to miss the panty raid. So good, so good.
I don't know that reference.
Anyway, so that's the same episode, you knob.
Yeah, but I only know the bit when he's like, "Can you feel me now, Mr. Krabs?" Because it's on Reddit all the time.
Oh, can you feel it, Mr. Can you feel it, Mr. Krabs?
That's
and it's like, yeah. Anyway, so this controller has a headphone jack, which makes it easier to talk to people. I mean, one of the main ways people are communicating on Nintendo Switch was through the Nintendo app. So this will make it a lot easier, and it does look very nice. I mean, the quote from the developer. That's what they said. When we set out to make the new face-off, I want to take his face off. The Face-Off Deluxe Plus audio into the ultimate third-party controller for Nintendo Switch, we focused on elite performance and customization and enabling more opportunities for in-game chat. This is from PDP, the company who are creating this controller. We work with the industry leaders at Vivox to offer the best chat experience possible, and now we're helping them get the word out to developers. So it's good that you got these third parties wanting to, doing things for the gamer, and they've. I guess this is a niche because it's not, it's not a common thing at the moment for Nintendo Switch. But also nice about this, there's also going to be a little dial on the side of the cable, similar to. I used to have on my Xbox controller. I had a headset which you plugged in, and there was a little dial on there where you could turn it up and down. So that's going to be on there as well. So it's going to be completely customizable. You can plug headphones in. You can chat to people. It's nice. It's good to see companies doing things like this because, Nintendo are very funny about the whole making it easy to chat to people and play with your friends online, which is bizarre. I mean, that's what's frustrating about Nintendo for me. I mean, I was saying this about how they're being it seems quite stubborn about the whole video streaming thing, is that they focus on one area, but then they don't bother with other areas. Like they'll focus on the games and the experience of gamers and stuff. But then when it comes to like the social side of things they have to actually think about a lot more intently, which are out of their comfort zone. They seem to not want to do it, which is frustrating. But no, I'd like the sound of this controller. It's good. It looks nice. For me, one of the biggest draws is the fact that you can customize it, because I love the whole customizable thing. So getting different plates to put on the front of it would be cool. It'll be interesting to see what designs that they have. Hopefully there'll be designs which incorporate characters from popular Nintendo franchises. That would be fun. I mean, if it's just different camouflage colors, then not that exciting, but we wait and see. We'll get more info on that. But yes, very interesting. Chris, is this something that piques your interest?
I think it's cool that like you say, if Nintendo aren't going to solve the problem, then other people are going to do it for them. Because it has been long enough now that it's like, why aren't Nintendo properly looking at this? And it does look like a really good piece of kit as well. And especially like the Pro Controller is expensive enough anyway that if you're going to spend the money, like why not spend a little bit more and get a controller that does do, you know, voice chat and is able to offer that service. I think it looks really good. I think customizable buttons is interesting. I'd be surprised if we get customizable faceplates that feature Nintendo characters, because it does feel a little bit like if Nintendo were happy with this, it wouldn't be happy. Like I'm surprised, but maybe, you know, like we see controller companies all the time who start off kind of making third-party stuff, and then end up getting like official kind of access to images and things like that. So, and like reprogrammable buttons is really interesting as well, because not as many games as you might think offer that. And some of those on the Switch, you do end up really playing like a claw hand. So I'm looking forward to, I'd be up for giving this a try. And especially if you can change the buttons around a bit, you know, for like platformers and indie games and stuff where you can't necessarily do that. I think it's a really good move. So yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, it's not madly expensive.
No, it's good actually. It's well priced and it's good. It's all good for the future. So much positivity for Nintendo. Got you free new games. Just missing out on the video streaming shit.
Speaking of new games, Colin, I want to do a quick mention that we have got a code that I've been playing because I put the effort in to apply for it. Which we're going to be talking about more next week, which is an indie game called Overwhelm. Now, reviews are embargoed and all that kind of stuff. But if you have questions, I'm going to give it a couple of hours over the weekend and over the next few days to kind of get into the teeth of it. And if it looks interesting to you, it's a puzzle co-op game. So let us know. And if you're playing at home as well, it'd be nice to have a back and forth about that. So yes, we will keep you posted on that. I'll have more thoughts next week. So yes, look forward to that. Colin, is there anything else you would like to talk about?
I would just like to say that I'm very glad that you have completed Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 Remastered, and you now realise how epic the ending is and why it's one of the best games ever created. Just so good. The story in that, amazing.
Careful, here's the thing, Colin.
Careful, yeah.
The story is very good, but I think you're lying to yourself.
There's no but there. It's just great. It's just
I think you're lying to yourself if you really think that you're attached to the characters, because it's like, don't get me wrong, it's epic. You're on the back of the truck shooting a helicopter down, got to stop the nukes going off, all that kind of stuff. But when you're not playing as Soap,
I want your name. Give me your name. Oh, that scene, so good, man.
I like I'm slightly being a dick there. The main core people, so Price, Soap, Gaz, and Grizz, big fan of them. Everyone else, I don't know who you are.
You penis.
No, there's Gaz and there's Grizz.
What about Sergeant Jackson, who gave his life? Gave his life, man.
Well, I mean, he dies. Yeah, he didn't give his life. He gets nuked.
Pretty dodgy way to go, isn't it? Not great.
Yeah, true. But it's it is interesting going back and playing those games, and like they really capture the time.
Weren't you full of like, oh shit, when the ending scene where you I won't spoil anything, but you look over at your captain, you look back and you think, oh god, and then that scene happened, and that scene.
Yeah, that is sick. The bridge bit is very good.
Oh, that ending, because you think, oh my god, because you think like it's all over. You think, oh my god, how are we going to get out of this? And I'll leave it there.
And I do need to confess my sins as well. The level where you're defending the Ferris wheel from the people attacking you.
What did you do? I need difficulty now.
No, I did it on hardened, which is the difficulty I was on for the whole game. But I will confess, I found I was looking up tips online, and someone suggested lying down in one of the huts in a particular way so that you couldn't get hurt by grenades. You could only get shot by people. And oh my god, it made it so much easier.
I told you that. Because I talked about going pro in your
You alluded to it, Colin, but I thought you were just very skillful. I didn't realize that you had cheated your way through as well.
I didn't know about that. I also thought I was skillful, but maybe I'm not.
It might be different hearts, but yeah, it's a good game. It's not all aged well, but it was good fun to reminisce.
What sort of name is Soap anyway?
Well, quite. And I beat the squad record as well on the old practice run at the start.
Well done.
So thank you. What have you been playing?
What have I been playing? Not really much this week, going to be honest with you. Sort of being. I need to find. I think I'm going to try and find a new game for me mobile phone. I need to pick up a new game because currently at the moment not finding much time to sit down and play games, which is annoying.
Well, I very briefly, mobile wise, the early access is out for the new Elder Scrolls Blades game on mobile. So if you can get in on that, you could give that a try.
How do I get in on that, Chris? Do tell.
I think you just go to the App Store and say, I would like to try it. I've tried to get it to work, but the servers were having trouble. And then I was on a train and the signal was bad. So I'm going to give it more of a shot over the weekend, I think. But yeah.
Elder Scrolls Blades. I'm going on it. I'm going on it. Downloading as we speak.
Right. How can people get in touch?
So many ways. You can get in touch by emailing heroesofhandheld@gmail.com. You can find us at heroesofhandheld.wordpress.com. We're on Twitter @handheld podcast. We are on Facebook and all the social medias. Just search Heroes of Handheld. On our website as well, there is a contact us button where you can not contact us button, the contact us page where you can fill out the form and send your thoughts to us. We would love to hear from you, your thoughts on this new format, your thoughts on E3 for Nintendo, your thoughts on the new controller, any thoughts you've got about anything gaming or handheld gaming related. Get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. Chris, what are your parting words to the people?
Be good and have fun.
Oh, it's cute, isn't it? Bye.
See you on Saturday, mate.
Bye.
Bye. We're not talking about that on air.